It is my common observation in Canada as well as in India and in many other countries that the teaching methodology, which we have been calling as a pedagogy, because primarily we have been earlier teaching only the pediatric group of people, and therefore it became the pedagogy. In pedagogy, the strongest principle was the rote memory, because rote memory is at its peak in the children. He is capable of memorizing things very easily, even without understanding their meaning. As I know, I myself learned very difficult calculations simply by memory in my childhood in the school due to the fear of the stick or whip which the teacher was holding. And it worked perfectly well. From 1 to 19, all the what we call as the pahadas calculations I knew by heart, including their fractions, and each of the pahada or the calculation had 4 parts, 4 quarts, and we did it. Many other things I remembered by heart. My other friends also remembered by heart, and we still remember those poems and those means prose and poetry both by heart, which we learned about more than 65 years back. So the memory part or the cognitive part is very active and important for the child, because he is new to the world and everything he has to learn and to imbibe in his brain for the future survival. The new principles came, the Bloom's taxonomy and Malcolm's Andragogy principles, and all these principles, though were meant differently for the children and the adolescent and adults, but somehow they got mixed. Andragogy could never took a full-fledged roots. It did not become a established discipline, and that was the biggest advantage, that the Andragogy only survived, and the pedagogy survived, and Andragogy just got assimilated into the principles of pedagogy. Result was a combination which was not a good combination of pedagogy and Andragogy, and people started applying these principles even to the pediatric age group or the children. But I find that it is not properly working. Neither parents are able to understand, and therefore many parents complain to me here and in India also. Means there is some problem, there is some gap between the learning and the parents. This mixing of andragogy and pedagogy has made the primary education particularly, or the middle school education, bit little complex. We are teaching them the principles which were to be used after 17, after 16 or 15 or 18, and those principles we have started using very early, even the class first or second. And this all creates a very difficult situation both for the parents and for the students. It's a sort of, we are applying the adult principles to the children's. So there's a mix of the adult and the child's personality, which may create some aberrations that how I think in my own opinion. Therefore, the entire thing required to be re-looked, analyzed, study effects so far. If a child of 3 behaves like a person of 18, I don't think anyway it's going to help that child to grow well in the society, keeping all the relationship in a positive manner with the society, friends, and his colleagues. It is likely to create certain aberrations, and that what is happening. We are treating a child as an adult. We are applying the principles of adults to the child. I think this is not a correct way. Entire education policy should rethink on these issues and redesign the strategies to study. Strategy for education of the pediatric age group and of the adolescent and adult age group. And there should be a distinct difference between these two groups, as these two groups are distinctly different in everything. In biochemistry, in behavior, in hormones, in body structure, in looks, everything. Both the pediatric age group and the adult age group is altogether different. And if you mix together, I think, except disadvantage, we may not find any other kind of advantages in the teaching learning process. Thank you very much.